Hello.
Okay.
Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to afternoon tea with Cantiese, where we're pouring, not spilling, powerful tea into our souls. Hello, hello,
Hey.
hey. Welcome, y'all. So I am so excited. It is April. Oh my gosh.
April.
And I am getting to sit down with someone that's actually been taking care of me in a way
Oh yeah.
for probably over a year,
Yeah.
actually almost 2 years
2 years.
now. This is Miss Tori. Do
Hello.
you like people to call you Victoria
No,
or
my name's Tori.
okay, Tori?
Yeah, just Tori.
Okay, Tori. And she is my facialist.
Yes.
Is that the right term?
A licensed esthetician.
Yeah, she is a licensed esthetician. And so we're going to learn about her in a minute, but first we're going to do our first segment,
Okay.
and that is There is a Tea for That.
Love it.
And she's got a tea that she's chosen.
Mhm.
I'm going to pour her up some hot water.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
I love tea.
Yeah. Oh, you do?
Mhm.
Okay, well then you're going to be a lady after my own heart. And I'm actually going to
Thank
get
you.
me warmed up over here too. And so, in this first segment, we like to talk about tea
Okay.
and how tea supports us and helps us. I am a tea enthusiast, and so as we know, sort of in our world, the tea, right, is usually something juicy, top, right, gossip or some kind of news. And so we play on that in terms of this sit down because you know what? Tea is good for us. We can support ourselves. And so in my cup, I have a new tea that I have not ever talked about before. It is called Tulsi Sweet Rose.
Okay.
I have talked about the Tulsi.
I heard of Tulsi before.
Tulsi is another word for holy basil. It's from India, and it is a Ayurvedic or an adaptogenic type of tea that supports our bodies in dealing with stress.
Okay.
So I'm all about that, and I've tried all kinds of different Tulsis, but this is the first time I'm trying the sweet rose.
Okay.
And so the sweet rose is good for our skin.
100%.
So guess what? I'm talking to a licensed esthetician,
Perfect.
and I am trying out a tea that is good for our skin, our hair, like anything like beauty. That's why a lot of our beauty products is like rose water and rose petals and rose this and rose that. And so I'm actually pouring some beauty on the inside today.
Good.
Okay, so that's what's in my cup, and I'm gonna take a little sip. And yes, today I do have a non-dairy oat milk creamer.
Good.
In my
So
in
you're
my
really
tea.
taking care of your skin.
Yes, I'm really taking care of my skin. So I'm gonna sip. Okay, so now
I have chosen.
yes,
It's the Rishi.
Rishi.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. The Rishi lavender and mint.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
I like lavender. I love mint.
Oh my gosh.
I've never tried this, so we'll see.
Well, a lot of people know, just if you watch Afternoon Tea with Cantiese, that mint is actually one of my favorites.
Mint is my favorite
So
as well.
if I'm not trying out something new, a lot of times I've had mint in my cup. So now, are you a tea drinker? Do you
Yes,
drink tea?
every day.
Really?
Every day, twice a day.
Me too.
Yes.
Okay, so
it's like the bedtime. It's like my morning.
Mhm.
I will still have coffee. I try to like limit coffee.
Okay, so
But I still have coffee. But I have tea first.
yeah.
I
Okay.
feel like that's the first thing that should enter your system,
Yeah.
either fruits or tea.
Fruit tea. Okay.
And then the last thing before bed is a cup of tea.
Okay, so now what type of tea
Mm-hmm.
do you drink in the morning?
In the morning, it's really mint.
Yes.
I'm a mint girl. It's really good for your digestive. And digestive is everything.
Yeah, it soothes and yes. Okay.
So, a cup of Moroccan to wake me up, Moroccan mint or spearmint. And then at night, it depends on how I'm feeling.
Okay.
If I need kind of a ease down from like anxiety or like a long day, I would do like a chamomile rose blend. Like I mix.
Okay, yeah.
So
me too.
If I'm feeling like a bloated that day, I would do a ginger, turmeric, lemon blend. If I'm feeling sick, I would do an immunity blend with like some elderflower. It just depends on what I'm feeling. Especially at night. So at night, everything kind of renews. Our cells renew. Everything renews. So at night, I try to give my body what it's telling me it needs. So I kind of like, what am I feeling before I pick my selection and my little setup.
So we're gonna have to have Tori back on here. She just loves tea. We're gonna have to have like a whole tea episode that's just about like teas and teas.
And my family's from the island, so I grew up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
My family's from Jamaica. My mom came here at 25, so like my grandma has like 16 children. So all I know is tea. Like if you break your ankle, get some tea.
I see.
It's tea.
Yeah.
So I grew up like going to the backyard, grabbing a peppermint. Like that was even as a kid, grabbing a peppermint and making tea on the pot. So like tea is like.
It's like a part of life.
It's a part of.
Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh, I love that. So, what we're saying is tea is not just something for the thing, but it is for life. Right. So most definitely. Okay. So I don't know. Okay, I usually tell people to steep the tea for like a good 5 minutes, but this has only been 2 or 3. But it's been a minute. Okay, it's been a little bit. I think it's enough time for you to try this and let us see what it.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
The lavender is very prominent.
Okay.
The mint is more subtle. I'll say the mint is like a top note. The base note is definitely lavender.
Okay, man, you know she is a tea person because she
tea and fragrance go hand in
hand.
She's
about notes and stuff.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yes,
they go hand in hand.
Yes, absolutely. So, the flavor of this tea that I'm drinking.
I'm interested to know.
It's a subtle rose flavor. It's not like drinking a cup of flowers though.
Okay.
So, and I don't know if I would even want that.
Some drinks that have rose in is very.
I don't want floral. It makes me feel like maybe I'm drinking soap or something.
Yes.
So it doesn't taste like that. It's just a hint of the sweetness. Of the rose.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and Tulsi, I always explain to people that it has an earthy flavor.
Okay.
Not a bitter earthy flavor, but a very kind of like just sort of going in the direction of like a green tea, but not so strong.
Is it as strong as like a radish or like a root?
It's not that strong. It's subtle. It's a subtle earthy flavor. So actually, it really is a very gentle on the palate.
Okay.
Yeah, and with the rose, it's actually very nice. And I have Tulsi with peppermint. I have Tulsi with ginger.
So you're like me, you mix them.
Yeah, yes. I have a lot of different flavors. So remember, the lavender and the mint are about sort of a soothing, calm.
Warms the body up. The mint warms the body. Warmth is good in the body.
Yes, absolutely. And you mentioned digestion.
Yeah.
And that's really why I drink a peppermint tea all the time. I enjoy it. But it also helps with digestion. And like if you're feeling nauseous or any of those things, it solves a lot. It can even help you with a headache.
Yeah.
All of the things. And then again, Tulsi is gonna bring you a natural calm when you're really stressed. And what I mean by stress, I'm talking about like stress cortisol and the chemicals going through your body, and you're like really, it can help your body to really deal with those types of things. So yes, please, tea for life, tea for everything. Yes. Okay, so this month we are focused on the aspect of being tapped into our personal power,
Mm-hmm.
that is knowing that we can take up space.
Absolutely.
So confidence and worthiness to take up space, and even further to know that whatever room we find ourselves in,
Mm-hmm.
that we belong.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the reasons why I thought it would be really cool to have Tori have you on is because you are responsible for supporting women and people. I'm sure you don't just have
mainly
all
women.
Yeah, but yes, women.
Yeah, mainly women.
And really feeling more confident and feeling good about taking up space from a standpoint of our skin.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like how we present. And listen, I don't get me wrong. I know that part of us feeling good and comfortable showing up is feeling good about like the way we present ourselves. 100%. And so I made a commitment over a year ago to not just put like eyelashes and stuff on, but to really care for my skin. And you have helped me do that.
That's good. I am grateful that I can be that person for you.
Yeah. So it's actually the worthiness that I feel inside, the way I value myself. It's not just about putting something on, but really letting what is on the inside be revealed. And that is actually what I think is so special about what you do. But let me just slow down. Tell me, for the people in the back, right? What exactly is your business, and how did you get into being a licensed esthetician?
That's a great question.
Esthetician.
It's a great question. So I am a licensed esthetician. I have a solo private practice. So on the flip side, you may see esthetician work in a spa or medical, like a dermatologist office, something like that. I have my own private practice. Where it's just me. I'm the only provider. I'm the janitor. I'm the social media girl.
Right, I get it.
All of the things.
I get it. Yes.
So it's the joy. In that and the fun in that.
Yeah.
But I'll say more so what I do is that I help people be comfortable in what they have already.
Yeah.
And maintain that. So I would say for my clients, we're probably on 3 tracks. The track is where either clearing like active acne, we're either clearing like scarring from acne, or we're maintaining the skin that they have. So I'm seeing you every 30 days to just maintenance. And the joy of that is, I think, when I have clients like yourself who make the commitment to take care of what they have, right? So it's great to get lashes. It's great to get your makeup done when you have, because I've been on that side of it too. I've been a makeup artist. I've worked for the biggest brands doing makeup. I've been on that side. But when you're taking care of what you have, you show up a little bit different.
Yeah.
You show up a little bit more confident. If your makeup artist cancel or whatever happened, you're kind of okay with, let's just turn this camera on, like I'm throw some lip gloss on, whatever it is, But and then just day to day, like going to the grocery store, going whatever little going to the gym. You're gonna show up because you're confident in how, at least the one thing that people see first. It looks up to par to center that you feel comfortable, right? Because everybody's different. Some people, whatever the case is, some people's different. But just being able to maintain that and journey with a client, maybe for 2 years or however long my experience may be with the person, journey with them, like, oh my gosh, I remember when I had whatever, we do this all the time, like I remember my skin was so whatever the issue is, and journeying to like, oh, now like I don't even have to put concealer under my eyes anymore, right? Because they're maintaining, because they're keeping up with their skincare at home and actually doing the what's recommended. So that's what I do.
Well, first of all, your skin looks amazing.
Thank you very much.
And I just want to personally say, I'm so grateful for
thank
you because I feel like my skin
Mm-hmm.
is just eons
Mm-hmm.
in much better shape.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have a routine that is so easy for me to
Mm-hmm.
follow
Mm-hmm.
in terms of not being so concerned about, like you said, I'm not a makeup girl.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't get up and beat my face or
Yeah.
whatever those
Yeah, that's
terms.
not a part of your routine.
It's not a part of my routine. I don't even want it to be a part of
And
my
that's
routine.
okay.
Yes. And so for me, just like being able to see like the brightness
Mm-hmm.
in my skin and the
Mm-hmm.
way that it's, clarifying and
Mm-hmm.
it's, and all of that is just, it's amazing
Yeah.
because now I don't have to have this sort of conversation every time I look in the mirror,
Yeah.
like, ooh, what's going on? And the cool thing about Tori is that she educates you.
Absolutely.
Like, we talk about diet
Yeah.
and exercise
Mm-hmm.
and hydration
Mm-hmm.
and some of those little things that I was doing
Mm-hmm.
that I thought was like
it's something that we still do, right?
the best
because
thing.
no one's gonna be perfect,
Right.
So
Yeah.
I like to give you the knowledge, give you the education, so we're like, oh, I'm gonna eat this dairy,
Mhm.
but I know that I'm gonna break out in a week, and I know that I have to follow it with my whatever it is, So like, get that when you have that empowerment, you can make those decisions where you don't have that mental weight of like, oh my god, my skin's gonna be terrible. I don't know what to do, but you're like, no. I know that if I eat this, Tori's gonna say this, and we're gonna get it together.
Yes. Yeah, I remember going to you and you being like, so what have you been eating? It's like, well, on this side part of your face. So definitely, I think one of the ways that we take up space, right, and we grow in our confidence and worthiness is when we become more aware of what is happening with us. When we learn how our body works, and that, as you told me, is that our skin is sort of a layer of protection for us, and it is an organ
it's the largest organ.
It's the largest organ, and it works a certain way. So those are things that I learned from you, and just how I stay connected with me in a way that is like, a friend of mine used to say the body doesn't lie, right? It's like whatever you putting in it, it's gonna show, it's gonna come out. And so if you don't have it the way you want it, you're not showing up the way you want to, there's something that we can do about it, right? Okay, so what made you go into this area?
It's funny because it like all goes together. So I was working for MAC. MAC the makeup. I know you don't do makeup, but
yes, but I'm familiar with MAC, and I have used like
I think everybody knows MAC. Everybody knows MAC. Either you had a lipstick, a lip gloss, something.
Yeah, I'm a Bare Essentials girl.
Listen, okay. So I was working for MAC, and I would have clients come in. I'm doing makeup, whatever, and we just like the look that what they would want. I wouldn't be able to deliver it to the capacity because their skin was not up to par. And during the time, I was also going through like really like skin like hormonal changes. Like all kinds of stuff was going on internally with me, and it was showing up through my skin.
Wow.
And I'm getting trained, and I was working in a very unique situation where I was working for MAC, and I was also working for Ulta. It was under an umbrella at the time. So I was being trained by these big brands like Proactive and Clinique and all these brands, and this is the product that's going to change, like, and I would use the products and nothing would happen. Wow. And I would use the other product and nothing would happen. Wow. And I would buy the kits and nothing would happen. It would just get worse and worse and worse. And it was to a point where I'm like, something's not clicking here. And I love the empowerment of being behind the brush because you have that intimate moment. You get someone in the most vulnerable state, right? Because some people without makeup, it's like they're naked. So I get that person when I have the opportunity to speak life. I have the opportunity. You are beautiful. I have the opportunity that you don't need this. Wow. Oh, your eyes are so beautiful. You might not like your nose, but oh my gosh, your eyes. Whatever it is, I have the opportunity to be that person. and I would get done with makeup applications, and like I would literally have women cry, mess up the makeup, but cry like, oh my gosh, I never saw myself look like this or whatever.
Wow.
It was so empowering. It felt so good. It felt so good to be able to do that. But the skin kept, it was kind of like that itch that you couldn't get. It's like, what is it? Even with all of that, meeting these women, doing makeup, if you would catch me without makeup, I would have a hat on, hair down, because my skin was so bad.
Ooh.
And I couldn't, I wouldn't show up to things, like I would not go to events. Whatever it is, it just was not there. And then I decided, I was like, maybe I should go to school for this. Like, maybe I should go and really understand skin.
Like, what's happening with the
what's
skin.
happening, why it's happening.
Yeah, because what I hear you saying is you really were sort of in this sort of like enhancement space, right? Really working with the face and the features and accentuating the beauty, because that's what it's supposed to be.
And it is an art form, so learning how to create balance, because no one has a perfectly balanced, and beauty is all about being balanced. So creating symmetry, I was very good at that. But it was some science behind it. There was some other stuff behind it.
So then, like, the actual form or the actual raw material that you were working with, our actual skin, our face, you were finding that even what you were trying to do with this sort of aesthetic beauty balance, it wouldn't work as well because
I wasn't getting to the root.
You wasn't getting to the
the root.
The roots.
The root.
Yes. So what I hear,
and I'm a root girl. I need to know why it's happening, what's happening, what time it's going, how are we going to fix it, all of that.
Yes, absolutely. I completely agree with that. As a matter of fact, I go to a non-toxic nail salon because of that. Like, understanding that I like this enhancement, but I don't like it at the risk of my own health and well-being,
100%,
right? And I want to know that what's happening to my nails underneath and what's happening to my face underneath. So so to me then, what I hear you saying is you started to just really get curious and concerned about not just creating the aesthetic beauty of things, but to understand where this beauty needed to come from in terms of like not just putting paint on it, but really understanding the health of it. And to me, that's how we grow in confidence, and that's how we tap into worthiness. And that's how we take up space when we don't ignore or cover up. We actually get acquainted with the real us.
The mess.
So that so that way, even if you are putting on the enhancement and you're creating the balance, that you're really clear about the health and well-being of your skin underneath. And that's what's so cool.
So when I went into school, I thought it was like, it's because the products.
Right.
And even when I went into school, my mindset was, I was just going to learn lashes, and I'm going to do I'm going to be the number one go-to lash person in the city. Not at all. I fell in love with skin. I fell in love with just getting a person like I just met, right? I just meet you. I get you on my table, and in 2 minutes, I literally have you, I'm molding. Like you're melted. You're comfortable where it's just like, all the stress. I fell in love with that. And I did not. I was like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, that's not me.
You had a whole different goal.
No, absolutely. So when I fell in love with it, I would have like when we were in school, we had kind of like a mock spa type of thing where we'd have people come in and we work on them once we got through like the book work and stuff. And I would have people come in, years, like licensed for years or been getting services for years, and literally said that was the best facial I ever got in my life. And that's when I knew, I was like, there's something different about these hands. And I realized it wasn't just the hands, it was God allowing me to be a vessel for that person. So I would, and I don't know how spiritual your audience is, But I would literally feel like
go there, girl.
I would be over the person, whether I'm doing whatever it is.
Yeah.
And God would say, pray for her to speak up.
Oh.
Pray for her head. Pray for. So I would literally be over.
Listen.
And a while. I mean, I would say like maybe when I was young, like in my early 20s, I was always taught like be careful who you allow over your head.
Yes, I was taught the same thing. Absolutely.
So it was just a moment where God was like, I have you over these women's head for a reason.
Yeah.
I was able to like I'm able to tap in, like I know where someone's, I don't know, like tap into what they're feeling, what they're going through. Haven't seen you in 30 days. Know where to speak. And I'll just be praying. And like, oh, that facial was so good. Girl, the Spirit of God just filled you up. And whether this person knows God, doesn't know God, never experienced Him, they would leave and say, oh, this is so peaceful in here.
Yes.
Girl, these walls have been anointed. This was, so it's just that paired with the science that I'm also a nerd. I would read. I'm a nerd. Okay, so that paired with the science of like actually how to like get the results. I think those like mesh, that the passion, the science, and God using me as a vessel. I could never leave.
So I did not know that, and I am so glad that you shared that because it's like getting a facial, y'all.
Facial from me.
From Tori.
Because not all facials are the same.
And I'm serious.
Yeah, not all facials are the same.
Is the most relaxing.
I appreciate that.
And I'm not kidding. So like for instance, I think a massage is relaxing. I think that there's pedicure, like getting your feet and the massage and all of that. Out of all the things, right? The services, because y'all know how I am about, you know, where I stand on that. Like you invest in yourself. You invest in yourself. You do things to yourself, but we also have to make sure that we are filling up our bucket and getting or whatever. And I have to tell you, y'all, this facial, it puts some it deposits into my bucket. I think kidding.
People are like, oh, what's your secret? What do you do on social media? I'm doing what God told me to do.
And you know what? I think that's the biggest way to take up space is to be purposeful. And even if like, you know, you are not like the God person or whatever, whatever you feel purpose in, and that's what I hear you saying is that God has given you a purpose. And when you were able to find that thing, right? Tap into it.
And not only tap into it, do it in excellence.
Ooh. Now talk about that.
Doing it.
Doing it to.
I'm gonna have to give you all my little secrets.
Okay, don't do that.
I'm not a gatekeeper.
Okay, so what you have to do though is you have to get a facial. That's what you have to do.
But doing it in excellence and everybody's different. So I can't say I'm gatekeeping. That was all a joke, really. But like when you learn the science of it, right? You learn I mean, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. I'm not sure. But you have to learn how people think. How do people experience things? Smell, sight, touch, the words you say.
Absolutely.
How you feel.
I'm all about that. Yes.
So how you feel. So when you get on my bed, you're like, oh girl, this feels so
good.
All the things. If it was a hard, lumpy bed, if I didn't have the table warmer on, I know like, okay, Cantiese is always cold, so I'm gonna give her the best customer service and know that when she comes in, her bed is gonna be set to medium high heat because she likes it warm. Right. You know, little things like I'm gonna warm the oil up. I'm gonna put some essential oils in the air. I'm gonna be in an environment. I'm gonna put my business in an environment where women feel safe. Little things like that, where it's like the stresses are already coming down, the cortisol is already coming down. So once you get
the experience,
it's the experience.
Yes, and so, you know, listen, as y'all can tell, we could probably talk all day,
hours.
Yes. So I'm gonna be respectful of your time because you know it's a Monday. You all are probably seeing this on a Sunday, but this is a Monday when we're sitting down. This is actually her time to kind of, you know, take a breather and all of that. And so she's So I'm grateful. Thank you for
No
taking
problem.
this time to do this with me. And we have talked about doing this for a while.
A long time.
And so based on what you're saying, I want to say I totally agree that women, people, but because I work a lot with women like you, I try everything I can. There's some clients that are like, oh, I just meet virtual, and I'd be like, I want you to come here because same thing. I want this. I'm gonna have the smell and the sound and the texture and the tea and because sometimes we need to experience what it is like to really truly let our soul rest and not just talk about it. And listen, I be talking to people, but I want you to actually be able to go kind of like how I'm feeling right now. If you've never visited a place, you won't be able to find it again. But
even if you explain it the way you're like, you need to get it
right.
But if you don't experience it,
I can show you better than I can tell you. And even if I give you all the words and I tell you about intentionality and I tell you about the polyvagal theory or whatever, you know, different types of stress, I can do all of that. But it does not beat you having the experience. And so what I want to do is land the plane and sort of start wrapping this up. And I want to go to the final segment, and that's the daily dose of power. And I want to talk about this notion of being intentional about that experience and making sure that we figure out a way. And this is what taking up space is about. Is that we understand that we have a lot of say-so on what it is we experience, right? We may not have control over the things that we have to do, like we all got to go to work. We all got to, you know, maybe you got a family, you got to take care of kids, or you got whatever the case may be. But we do have control over how we go about it. And what I hear you saying, and I know for me, I look forward to having my monthly facial because
I appreciate that.
I do. I look forward to it because it brings not only a moment not a moment, a whole hour of like peace and calm and just relaxation that I don't experience really literally anywhere else, right? Not that I don't experience other types, but it's just something special.
It's so custom to you.
It's so custom to me. It's so custom to me.
And sometimes it's conversation.
Sometimes it's conversation, and sometimes it's quiet, and sometimes it's a certain music that you have on in the background, or sometimes it's the smell. And listen, all her products smell amazing. So sometimes it's the fragrance, whatever it might be. You want to have things that you're looking forward to.
That's
so to me, I would say we're encouraging you to take up space in meaning honoring your need or your desire or your your ability to be able to have things go the way that you like them to have stuff that if you don't listen, let me just boil it down. If you're going about your time and you don't have things that you're looking forward to,
that's so good,
then something has to shift. Right?
Life can become really hard.
It can become really hard. So what are some ways that you create your own experience for yourself? Because you're talking about how you create it for other people. But let's end on that. Let's talk about like
that's good. I think for me, I allow myself grace. And it's something I never really was comfortable doing or I wasn't exposed to doing. But I allow myself the experience of grace for myself, for Tori. So I didn't check off everything on my list today. That's okay. It's fine. You took a nap today. That's okay. you forgot to put the load in.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It's all right.
It's okay. I allow myself grace, and I give we talked about this a little bit, but giving myself, being okay with just being with Tori.
Yeah.
So going to a restaurant, and this is some things that I started doing in college. I would just take myself out to. I was at Red Lobster with Jesus, just me and him.
Yeah.
And the waiters would be, "Are you waiting for someone?" No, like I'm okay with going places myself.
Yes.
And just taking, because when you go by yourself, you get to go at your own pace, right?
Yeah.
So moving at my own pace, doing the things that I like, what I feel like doing today, and then also making the things that I have to maintain, so my family, my business, myself, making that enjoyable. So y'all have to clean this house, right?
Yeah.
But I'm using this vacuum that's brand new, that has all the things
on it, right?
all the things on it.
Yeah.
But I'm maintaining my home. I love my home. It may feel like a chore, but I'm doing, making the experience, like you said, a little bit more enjoyable. So, and for me, that's like buying a mop that has I don't want to twist the mop out. I don't want to do that.
It's like self-twisting.
Like things like that. Or smell is really important to me. So spending a little bit more on a candle, lighting a candle, I don't know, treating myself in little things like that. And against contrary to popular belief, I'm at Starbucks every day because I feel like I deserve that for myself. Like the amount of things I'm committed to, I don't know how to make a white mocha with oat milk. I don't know how to do that. So I'm going to go to Starbucks. I'm going to get what I need to sustain me throughout the day. And there's a budget for that, right? So just being okay with what I need to sustain and maintain.
Yeah. I love that you talked about something that many of us feel like, okay, we have to do, but how you go about like doing it in a way that creates a more favorable experience.
Yes.
And so, and I love that you also talked about the little things.
Yes.
Right. And so, like for me, what I was sharing with Tori earlier is, I am not a morning person.
Same.
So I actually wake up earlier.
You're not a morning person and you wake up early.
Yes.
Explain this.
Okay. Right. I'm not a morning person, but I wake up earlier. I wake up earlier so that I can have time to ease slowly into the day.
Oh, okay.
So it's a way for me to honor myself, right, and create my waking up experience. So I don't know about y'all. When I was little, we wake up and somebody would be like, "I'm gonna get."
I literally was talking to a friend. It's like I feel like I'm waking up, putting out fires.
Yes, and I
don't want to feel like that,
and I don't enjoy that.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing that you need to ask yourself. What are the things you're doing? How are you doing them? And could you be doing them in a way that's more enjoyable? I don't want to hear an alarm clock.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy that. I want to wake up to gospel music.
Yeah.
That is the music of the backdrop of my life, childhood, and it just does something for me. And so therefore, I have an Amazon device sitting right by my bed, and it's programmed.
And that's the little things.
It's the little.
It's not a dramatic.
It's the
little things.
Little things.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah, so it's seeing how you can enlarge your footprint for being great and being the wonderful person that you are. The Bible says, hallelujah, right, is that we shouldn't think more highly of ourselves than we ought, right? And so this thought process around taking up space and knowing that we belong is not about being puffed up.
Yeah.
It's me addressing the fact that we minimize ourselves.
Yeah. As women of color.
Yes.
Yes, as women of color, we definitely minimize ourselves.
We squelch ourselves down.
But it's doing God a disservice because He called you to this place, to this season, to show up as His daughter fully.
Yes.
In royally, you're daughter of a king.
Yes.
He's called us, and we're like, oh no.
Yeah.
No, hi. I'm just gonna sit in the corner.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna let somebody else
do it. Yep.
Dictate what time I get up, what time I go down, what are my
Yeah.
tasks during the day.
Yeah.
And so I am saying that it says more highly.
Yeah.
So we also can read into that, right? Not adding anything, but that we should think of ourselves as highly as we should. Not more highly,
but as highly.
But as highly
so
as we should. And so guess what? If you're not thinking of yourselves as highly as you should, meaning with a base level worthiness and esteem and value, then you can be going around and allowing your boss, your neighbor, your husband, your kids, or the little voice in your head squelch you down to where now your experience is less than favorable. That
dare I say, if you're not thinking of yourself as God thinks of you.
Yes.
Exactly. Then how are you showing up? He says we're the head and not the tail.
Yes.
That we're above and not beneath.
Yes.
So if you're showing up in this mentality that I'm smaller than, or I'm less than, or I'm not worthy of.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So let this be what you take away. So as you're listening back to this, that's the encouragement. Go see Miss Tori. Put that on your list, right, as something that you look forward to. And if that's not sort of your zhuzh,
find your thing.
Find the thing.
Yeah.
But tell us like how a person could, if they wanted to, like reach you, follow you, even if they just wanted tips or whatever the case may be.
It's funny because I'm going through a whole brand change right now.
Yay!
So I don't know if when this podcast comes out, everything has changed over.
Okay.
But right now, in this moment, you can find me on Instagram, Victory Beauty Glam Spa. It's gonna change here shortly.
You changing the name too?
Doing a whole new branding. So we just have to link it in the
so we'll have to
show
link
notes
it.
or something.
Okay, so I will I will keep everybody abreast of the process and the progress.
Yeah, because it's fun.
It's
very fun.
That's why I'm so excited for you. You know, this has been awesome.
Thank you.
I would love to have you back.
I will be back.
Anytime.
As long as you got some more tea.
Yes. I always have tea. I am all about the tea. And so, you know what? We're going to wrap up there because we are busy ladies and we have other things to do.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. This was fun. This was great.
Yeah, I learned so much just by us talking and just, I feel inspired. I love to sit down and talk to somebody that makes me feel inspired. And matter of fact, anytime we are around each other,
literally.
I feel,
what you got going on, Cantiese? Where are you going this week?
Yes. And so we're going to go ahead and just wrap up there. And so I'm just going to say thank you so much for watching. And I just want to give honor to this lady for saying yes to what it is that she feels called and purposed in, and how she is pouring in to so many women. And I just, just give you honor for that, because it can be risky and scary to step out. When you have your own business. But
absolutely.
I so appreciate it personally, and I appreciate it for all the women that benefit. And so I'm just gonna say thank you so much for watching. May the kindness and the I am enough in me connect ever so gently with the I am enough in you. We will talk to you next time. Have a wonderful week and blessings to everybody. Take care.